Imagine an African emperor whose army crossed the Red Sea over 1,500 years ago, defeated a powerful kingdom and changed the course of Middle Eastern history. Long before the great European empires rose to power, the Kingdom of Aksum, located in present-day Ethiopia and Eritrea, was one of the most influential civilizations on earth. At the center of this remarkable story stood one man, King Kaleb, one of Ethiopia's greatest rulers. This is the incredible true story of King Kaleb and the Ethiopian campaign in Yemen. During the 4th, 5th, and 6th centuries AD, the Kingdom of Aksum was one of the world's greatest powers. The Persian prophet Mani even listed Aksum among the 4 great empires of his time, alongside Rome, Persia, and China. Its strategic location gave Aksum absolute control over the trade routes connecting Africa, Arabia, India, and the Mediterranean. Merchants traveled through the Red Sea carrying precious cargo, ivory, gold, spices, incense, silk, and precious stones. Aksum became enormously wealthy, changed tone to emphasizing achievement. The kingdom also developed its own written language, Ge'ez, minted its own gold and silver coins, and built towering granite stelae that still stand to this day. By the early 6th century, Aksum had become a Christian kingdom and one of the strongest military powers in northeast Africa. King Kaleb, also known as Ela Azbeha in Ethiopian tradition, ruled the Aksumite Empire during the early 6th century, around 514 to 534 AD. He was remembered as both a powerful warrior and a devoted Christian ruler. Historical inscriptions describe him as a king who believed it was his sacred duty to defend his people and protect fellow Christians beyond his borders. Tone drops lower, more dramatic. His reign would soon be tested by a crisis unfolding just across the Red Sea. Across the water lay the kingdom of Himyar in southern Arabia, in what is now Yemen. At the time, Yemen controlled vital trade routes and was home to people of different faiths, including Christians, Jews, and followers of traditional religions. Around the year 523 AD, the Himyarite king, Yusuf Asar-Yathar, known in later traditions as Tu-Nuwas, launched a violent campaign against the Christian population of Najran. Ancient sources describe a brutal massacre in which many Christians were killed after refusing to abandon their faith. The Byzantine Empire, another Christian power, urged King Kaleb to intervene. For Kaleb, this was both a humanitarian and a strategic mission. Protecting Red Sea trade and supporting fellow Christians became the central focus of his reign. King Kaleb began assembling one of the largest military expeditions in Aksumite history. Emphasize the numbers. According to historical traditions, tens of thousands of soldiers were gathered for the campaign. Some later accounts mention around 60,000 troops, though the exact number cannot be confirmed with absolute certainty. The Aksumite Navy prepared ships capable of transporting soldiers, horses, supplies, and weapons across the Red Sea. This was an extraordinary logistical achievement. Crossing the sea with an invading army required careful planning, favorable weather, and complete naval coordination. The Aksumite fleet sailed across the Red Sea and landed in southern Arabia. Heavy fighting soon followed. King Kaleb's highly disciplined army completely defeated the forces of Tu-Nuwas. According to historical tradition, Tu-Nuwas fled after his defeat and died soon afterward, bringing an end to his bloody rule. The victory established dominant Aksumite influence over Yemen. Kaleb appointed a Christian governor named Sumyafa Ashwa to administer the region on behalf of Aksum. For the first time in history, the Ethiopian Empire controlled territory on both sides of the Red Sea. Transition tone, reflective. But the story did not end with Kaleb's victory. Several years later, an Aksumite military commander named Abraha gained control of Yemen. Although Kaleb reportedly attempted to restore direct authority, Abraha eventually ruled independently while maintaining friendly relations with Aksum. Abraha became famous for building magnificent churches, and for the epic event known in Islamic tradition as the Year of the Elephant. His rule left a lasting mark on Arabian history. Ethiopian tradition tells us that after his victories, King Kaleb gradually withdrew from political life. He is remembered as having dedicated his remaining years to a life of prayer and humility. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church honors him as a saint, recognizing both his monumental leadership and his deep religious devotion. His legacy has endured for centuries. King Kaleb's achievements reached far beyond military conquest. He demonstrated the immense strength of the Aksumite Empire at a time when few African kingdoms projected power across the oceans. His campaign strengthened Ethiopian influence in Arabia, protected important trade routes, and became one of the most remarkable overseas military expeditions of the ancient world. Today, historians remember him as one of Africa's greatest rulers. His story reminds us that Ethiopia played an important role in shaping world history long before the modern era. King Kaleb's victory was more than a military triumph. It was a story of leadership, faith, diplomacy, and one of the most ambitious expeditions in ancient history. If you enjoyed this documentary, subscribe to Hisop Media for more stories about Ethiopian history, ancient civilizations, and the forgotten empires that shaped our world.